Hello, I'm Mistress Katherine, and you're watching Bondage on a Buck. For today's episode, we are going to create some canes. Now, I believe it was the Brits have popularized these canes, or I should say caning, for very naughty schoolgirls. So in case you've got a naughty schoolgirl or boy at home, and of course I mean the adult version, not for children. Anyway, so now these things you're going to mostly find at the dollar store. If you go right now, you will find butterfly nets. Perfect. And also these, what are these called? Bamboo torch. Be right back, my bunny fell. Oh, Blue Bunny. Blue Bunny is my assistant. Oh no. Okay, some minor technical difficulties right now. Okay. Let's see if that works. Alright, you're also going to need some black electrical tape. You can get this type of electrical tape at Walmart, hardware stores. Just buy roll, and if you don't already, you're going to use this a lot. And then for the handle, at least for one of them, I use suede. You can use leather or just something really sturdy. Alright, so let's begin. Let's use this one first. Oh, and a saw. I think I'm going to have to grab a wire cutters as well, but we'll get to that. So the first thing we're going to do with this is we're going to cut all this fabric off. Alright, so now that we've got just this now, because this is perfect already, and this is nice in there too, we just need the handle a little smaller, because it's going to look pretty silly doing it that way. Alright, so I have Cutco. Sorry I shouldn't do brands, but I love these things. Cut through anything. So you can either use like a Cutco scissors or any scissors that cut through anything. I don't know the names of any other ones. Or a wire cutters. So we are going to, let's bend this a little bit so that way it's easier. Alright. So I'm going to guess I want mine right about here. If this doesn't work, then I'll get the wire cutters. Well, it's making a good amount, but well, I'm gonna get wire cutters. Well, actually, never mind. Guess that'll work. Alright, so about the same length. Make sure not to cut yourself accidentally on this point. Probably it's safe to bend that out so you don't get hurt. Nope, not yet. Cool. Alright, now you can recycle, or if you do aluminum recycling, there you go. I'm pretty sure you might be able to think of a few things to do with the leftovers as well, if you don't want to recycle. Just be sure to tape up the ends really well. Alright, so now we're gonna make a handle. So just gonna fold this. Probably a pliers would be nice. But I don't feel like getting one, so I'm just gonna use my scissors. But you gotta make do with what you have sometimes. Alright. Well, I think maybe I will get a pliers. Now, if you don't already have a pliers, you can pick one up at the dollar store. Otherwise, if you watch the Menards flyer, a lot of times they have like tools like pliers, a 6-in-1 screwdriver, and all that for like free after rebate. So there you go, then you get a free one. Alright, so then we're just gonna fold this under because we don't want anybody hurt. I mean, we do eventually, but not like hurt because it's unintentional. You want it intentional. And of course you want to add pleasure to your pain, so anyway. Alright, as long as you can bend the ends in a bit. Okay, I'm gonna say good enough. Then we use the black electrical tape. Love this stuff. Just like if you don't have pasties, this will do. Of course, that's something else. Anyway, we'll just, I'd start probably right about there. Or you could make it nice and go all the way over. Maybe we'll do that eventually, but I mainly am concerned about these ends. Okay, so if I can fit this through. Alright, if it doesn't fit through, then we're just going to have to cut some. Alright, of course you can spend some time on it to make it look really nice, or you don't have to. I'm just going to do a little bit and then I'm going to go around the whole thing. So I kind of want to make it look a little nice, but I mean if you're in an area where it's dark most of the time like I am, I'm in a dungeon so it's kind of dark, then it doesn't really matter what it looks like. I mean as long as it performs, that's all we care about. There we go. Perfect. Now let's just do the sides of it. So when you do this tight, pull it tight. So we got one side done already. Again, if you want it to make it look nicer, you can go around a few more times. I personally am not going to bother with that. There we go. So you can, it says it's not gonna hurt. Well, I meant for the metal pieces. All right, so there you go. You got your cane. Got one done. Just gonna clear off this area a little bit. So the first thing we can do is we can pull out this canister here, or maybe not. Yeah, it doesn't, well, I kind of like to keep this, so let's just cut it out. Oh, it's made pretty well. You know, for a dollar store item, it's made pretty well. I'm not saying dollar store items are bad, it's just pretty good quality sometimes. You'd be amazed, because otherwise these are like 14 bucks at like a hardware store. There we go. This almost looks like a bomb. You can have some like fun doing some psychological play. Alright, put that there. So we are not going to use any of this stuff here. So we can just cut that off. I don't know if these scissors will no, I don't want to take a chance. Alright, so we need something where we can cut this on. So look for a surface you can cut. You can use 2 bricks and stick this, like you have a brick here, stick where you're gonna cut like right in the middle and have a brick here. There you go. I don't have bricks. Well, I do, but I don't feel like getting them. So I'm gonna use this instead. And this way works too. I mean, whatever you have available, just use it. And again, I assume you have a saw. If not, borrow one, or I've seen, again, when Menards would have, you get this saw free after rebate. Just look at the flyer. All right, so here we go. Let's see. There we go. Hold it nice and tight so the bamboo doesn't like split the rest down that way. Just be careful not to cut yourself. I've done that before. There we go. find one piece, or one of them doesn't want to cut, just move on to the other side. And hopefully you can get them to match up on the back. Woo! This can take a while, so you have to have patience. Yay! Fantastic. Good. Once all that's cut off, if you want, you can use some sandpaper, which you can also find at the dollar store. At least that's where I saw some. And, whew, excuse me a moment. Yes, so then after you've sanded this down, if you want to sand it down, it's quite smooth already. You can take some hot glue, and I am going to see if this little piece can go over this, because that would be cool. Oh, it does. Fantastic. So that's what we're going to do. So we'll get the hot glue gun. So while the hot glue gun is warming up, you'll just clean up your mess. You always want to try to keep your table nice and neat. Alright, so it feels warm. The first thing I'm going to do though is I'm just going to put some glue in here to stabilize it. Cool, because the reason I did that is because you can probably see here, there's some cracking from the tiki torch when they put the jar in there. So I just filled that up. Cool, so now we can make our loop, whatever size you'd like. Now just look closely at where that ring went to. So you can kind of see where the old glue is, so it should fit right there. So that's where we're going to glue this handle. And I'm going to kind of do it, yeah, kind of on one of the broken slats or the cut slats. And the hot glue is hot, so be careful, because you can get burned. Let's see. Make sure it's nice. Make sure this is nice and straight. Otherwise you're going to have a kink. What do you call it, a kink? the handle will be twisted and you don't want that. Cool, so once that's on there, then go ahead, you're gonna have to do this quick because unless your hot glue is really hot. And, okay, quickly slide this over. Perfect. Oh, well, that's pretty good. And you can glue a bit more in there, push it down to make it stay. This part's just for looks. Well, it'll help too, but it's nice to know that's on there really good. So I'm just gluing some of the openings. Try to do it kind of neat, if you can. I'm a little messy. All right, and then what I like to do, no, it's not sanitary. Okay, so I usually lick my fingers and press down. But you can take, if you have like an ice cube here, you can touch the ice cube and then really get to press in there. And then the glue wouldn't stick to you either. If your fingers are wet and cold, it'll cause the hot glue to not be so hot. But basically, there it is. Then you just take off the hot glue that escaped. I'm gonna glue this a little bit. Actually, that should be okay. Perfect. So there we go. We've got some really nice canes, a nice thick one. You can always cut off this end here, but you should, yeah. So yeah, I'm not going to show it, but you can always cut this end off. I'm probably just going to use a grinder later. And then you got a smaller one. Of course, the smaller one's going to hurt worse. And for these BDSM toys, when you are caning someone, it's best just to do it on the lower butt and just right below the butt. You can do, of course, if you do it light, you can do it anywhere on the body. But this is very intense. My little demonstrator here. So you can do it lightly, and then right about here, you can whack. Give it a few seconds. Yeah, because you want the pain to spread a little bit. But yeah, that's basically it. So you can enjoy your toys with your favorite someone. So what other toys do you have that look very innocent upon first glance? Well, if you don't have any of these, just go to your hardware store. Each one of these was, I believe, around 50 cents or under. Now, what can you do with these? Well, I'm so tempted to remove these stickers. I'm gonna do that real quick because they're a bit annoying. There we go. Alright, so the best thing, well, at least I like to do with them, so I'm not sure how many of you were spanked as a child. I'm sure most of you. Well, I know some, if you lived on a farm, you'd have to get a switch. Pick out a switch for your own spanking if you were naughty. Well, same concept. So you'll be picking out these for maybe your own punishment. Anyway, choose 3 because 3 is a fun number. It's always a good number. And then just you do this on the body, work your way down. Or you can just go ahead and whap. But make sure that when you are hitting the body, that it doesn't wrap around, because then that'll hurt. And it's more tender on the sides. Unless, of course, that's what you're going for, then have fun and enjoy. But yeah, so there you go. So probably $1 for a total of 3. Cool, huh? And while you are at the hardware store, and you can either buy paint, maybe they'll give these out free if you don't buy any paint and you're buying other stuff, I'm not sure. But I buy paint because I'm always doing something. Anyway, paint stick. Can you think of the uses, what you can use for this? If you don't have a ruler, this will do in a pinch. So if you've got a naughty submissive, right in the knuckles. Of course, I'm not gonna spank my own butt. I could. This is why I have my blue bunny here. So then you can spank. Of course. And if you want to paint, you can. I suggest painting because then you don't have all the words here. And there you go. Some nice wooden toys for you and your partner to play with. So what other fun things do you have around your house? I want you to take the night and go look for some. And when you find each one, play with it. Sounds like a nice evening, doesn't it?